Well, welcome everyone to this webinar about how to do a successful application. My name is Karin Jonegård and I work here at the International Office. This is my colleague Andrea. Over to you.
Hello, everybody. Yes, as Karin said, my name is Andrea Dion Johnson. I work with Karin at the International Office as International Coordinator. I moved to Sweden 18 years ago, and I was a student here at the university, and now I'm working here. It's my pleasure to give you information on how to apply. So, can you give us the agenda for today, Karin?
Absolutely. The agenda for today is that we will give you a short introduction to Skövde and Sweden, of course. And we will, of course, try to make this webinar as informative for you as possible so you can make a very informed decision when you apply to our university. And that's what we're going to help you with today, how to do a successful application. But as mentioned first, welcome to Skövde, Sweden, the University of Skövde, how to apply for studies here, strategies for success, tuition, living cost, and student accommodation, scholarship, as well as Q&A. And we really love to introduce you to the university, of course. Some of you might have already been to one of our webinars, but for those who are here for the first time, we will of course give you some short information about the university and living here in Skövde and as well in Sweden. So, first of all, there's a word we love to talk about here in Sweden. It's called lagom. It's a concept, I would say. It means not too little, not too much, just the perfect amount. And many things, in many ways, Skövde is a good example of this, finding itself in the perfect center, both literally and figuratively. No, I can't speak. As you can see here, Skövde is located right in between the two of Sweden's largest lakes, Vänern and Vättern. It's also located almost right in between the Sweden's two largest cities, Gothenburg and Stockholm. And it's almost perfectly halfway in between our two neighboring countries' capitals. It's Oslo, you can see here in Norway, as well as Copenhagen in Denmark. So, just the perfect amount in the middle. That's such a great example of Skövde. Just to show you some pictures of the beautiful city of Skövde, of course. Skövde is a city, it's like a medium-sized city here in Sweden. We have about 60,000 inhabitants. And you can really see in that sense that we are a good example of this lagom. The city is very calm and is surrounded by a very, very beautiful green. I would say it's almost embedded in the beautiful landscape, surrounded by forests and woods, basically. For example, you can see here on the lower image is our local mountain, Billingen. Some of them say it's a miniature mountain because everything depends on where you come from. It's about 300 meter above sea level, even though the mountain is really trying to be lagom. It also takes like only 30 to 40 minutes to walk to the top, and where you can find like this really large outdoor recreation arena. Skövde is also the commercial metropolis of an area called Skaraborg. And the Skaraborg region is also, the home for larger employees such as Volvo cars and trucks, as well as the Skaraborg Regional Hospital, the Swedish Armed Forces, the Municipality of Skövde, and the university. But just you can see to the left, there's this beautiful picture of the city square, and you can sit and have a coffee there, both in the summer, in the spring, and in the autumn as well. And yeah, and also some beautiful pictures of the at the city square. One of the buildings there, it's called Rådhuset. Really nice to go there and have a coffee as well. But you can also see this church here. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
This church called Varnhems Church. It is a really old church as well. So it is like a Skaraborg is a very historical region, and Varnhem Cloister Church is a great example of that, where a lot of our old kings are buried, and kings that, would rule like, I don't know, 800, 900 years ago here in Sweden. But a really beautiful place. So, there's something for everyone, even if you like culture, if you like nature, we have it all. So really lagom, a bit of everything here. And yes, but if you turn to the next picture, I'm going to start being lagom, and then I'm going to start bragging. Because one thing about Skövde that is not lagom is that we're actually the best student city in Sweden. And if you don't believe us, then you can ask the Swedish National Union of Students because they were the one who awarded us to become the Swedish Student City of the Year 2025. And this, of course, is an award that is given annually to a city that excels its work in to create a good study and living environment for students. And the reason why we got awarded is our nice welcoming of new students, the contact students that the contact that students have with the business and the public sector in Skövde, and the increased availability of students for students housing in our city. And we could not be more proud to have received this. However, we must brag a bit more because it is actually the second time we won it. So that is really cool. So Skövde is really something special, and we of course love our students here. And just to show you some beautiful pictures of our campus. I really like all of these pictures because they show the 4 different seasons. You can see now we're starting to have a bit of winter, but before that we had the beautiful autumn where everything you can see in the picture behind here, it is quite lovely when all the leaves turns yellow, red, and orange. It's just amazing. And then of course we have the spring and then the summer, and it's absolutely lovely. But the University of Skövde was established in 1977 by an act of the Swedish Parliament. We're a public institution. The university is a government agency under the Swedish Ministry of Education and Research. The university is it's a sort of fusion between old and new because actually some of the buildings, as you can see here on the pictures, are actually old military buildings, but of course they have been updated, with new technology and core, but we also have quite a lot of newly built buildings, facilities as well. And the best thing I would say with the university is actually our outdoors facilities because they're absolutely amazing. You can sit outside, plug in your computer, sit and work and do group works there. And, during the summer, during the early autumn, during the spring, it is just an amazing place to be. So you don't have to sit out indoors to study, you can sit outdoors and just enjoy the beautiful nature settings that we have here. Another couple of short facts is that we have about 11,558 students. We have about 495 staff, two-thirds being academic. We have 60 students nationalities. We have 24 international programs. We have 130 partner universities in 30 countries. We have about 450 incoming international students yearly. And we have about 90 outgoing exchange students yearly. So quite an international university, I would say. And just to show you all the schools we have. So we're a very specialized university. So we have 5 schools. We have the School of Bioscience, the School of Engineering, the School of Health Sciences, the School of Business, the School of Informatics. And we have quite a lot of program connected to this, our international programs. And yes, so for example, the international programs we have are within behavioral science, bioscience, business and marketing, engineering and technology, game development, health sciences, and informatics. On a bachelor level, we have 4 full-time programs at a third, that is like 3 year. It's about, let's say 180 credits, and it is during 3 years. So we have also on a master level, we have 20 full-time programs that are 1 to 2 years duration. So that is how it looks. I'm just going to very shortly introduce you to all the different programs. I also recommend you, if you're interested in one of the programs and want to find out more, we have our former webinars. They have all been successfully recorded. We never know when we're recording, but we always try to do that. So please check them out, and then you can meet us students talking about, studying here at the university. The majority of them are representative of the program that we're talking about. And you can also meet the program coordinators and the program directors in this webinar, recorded webinars. So please check them out. There will also be another chance for you to meet the program coordinators as well as students next week in our digital open house. So I just want to highlight that. But our bachelor programs are within biomedicine, cybersecurity and network administration, molecular biodesign, as well as molecular bioinformatics. Then we have a one-year masters, and they are within artificial intelligence of bioinformatics. That will start in the spring. In biomedicine, also start in the spring. And then we have all the others that I'm mentioning are starting in the autumn. So then we have business development and marketing, cognitive neuroscience, mind and brain, data science, games, aesthetics and narration, infection biology, molecular biotechnology, and molecular ecology. Our 2 year masters are biomarkers in molecular medicine, computational methods in engineering, data science, game development, player experience, game development and serious game, infection biology, intelligent automation, molecular biotechnology, molecular ecology, privacy information and cybersecurity, system biology with specialization in bioinformatics. And you can check out more, as mentioned, check out the webinars, but also the web pages. There you can find program coordinators and study counselors, contacts. You can also find the entry requirements and download the program syllabus. It's always really nice. I really recommend you to do that, because then you can see all the different courses you will study, how many credits they are, for example, and a lot of very important and useful information. So check out the syllabus. You can read about the program, courses, career opportunities, and so on. You can also link to the application on university admission. So at the top of the website, there's a link. So you will come directly to university admission that you will apply through, and that's really great as well. That makes things a bit easier. You can check out the QR code. We have QR codes during the whole webinars. I forgot to say that at the beginning, but please use your mobile, and you can take a screenshot, and then you can come back if it depends on if you're checking it out on your computer or your mobile. But you take a screenshot, and then you can check out the QR codes later on, or during when we're talking during the webinar. But I'm going to let Andrea talk about how to do an application, because for those who have been participating in the webinars, you know that we have been doing a lot of commercial advertising for Andrea, because she has been working here for, I think it's 13 years. So she's the perfect person to guide you into how to do a successful application. Over to you, Andrea.
Thank you so much, Karin. Thank you for the introduction about the university and for all these webinars that you and Sarah have been presenting. We had these great webinars that were program specific. We had this for the last 3 weeks, I think. And now we are going deep into how to apply. So as Karin mentioned, and I presented myself in the beginning, I have been working here at the international office for many years, and I help students when they apply with information and all that. So let's move on to how to apply. So the University of Skövde does not accept direct applications, and all applications, they must go via the website called University Admissions. And this is the website, official website of the Swedish Council for Higher Education. So we here at the University of Skövde, we are a public institution, as Karin mentioned, and we follow their rules and their deadlines. Okay, so this website receives all the documents. So if you're applying to our university, but you put as a second option another university, it's good that you use the website because you submit the documents just once. All universities will have that you apply to will have access to your documents. And if you are a non-EU citizen or from the EEA area, you must pay an application fee of 900 Swedish crowns for to the website, to the Swedish Council for Higher Education, so that they process your application. And this is directly to them. This is not to the university, so you have to pay, and the information is on the website so that the application can be processed. And there's no way to waive this application fee. And the applications for the 2026 autumn 2026 intake is already open. So it is open from the 16th of October and it will close on the 15th of January. It's very important to meet the deadlines. Okay. And I'm going to change my slide here. So if you go to universe submissions and if you scan the QR code, you can see the deadlines for the autumn 2026. And this is the first admissions round. There is a second admission round, but this second admission round is only for is mainly for Swedish students. Because the applications will open in March, close in April, and then they will receive their admission results only in July. So it's about 1 month, 3 weeks before you have to be here. So this is not appropriate for students who are outside the EU, who need to apply for a visa, residence permit, and all that. Okay, so all students are we recommend them to apply via the first admission round because then you can receive the admission results in the end of March. Okay, so you have time, you have still 4 months to prepare, to prepare everything you need to know to move to Sweden. Okay, and there is an exception also. Sometimes we accept if you are a bachelor student from the EU and you are in the last year and you still don't have your documents, there is a possibility that you apply in the national admission round that we call second admission round. But I will talk about this later. And so you can see there the dates. So the deadline is on the 15th of January. This is the application deadline. And then there is another deadline that is very important that is on the 2nd of February. You can see there are 3 deadlines on the 2nd of February. The first one is the application fee deadline. Remember that I talked in the previous slide about non-EU citizens that they need to pay an application fee of 900 Swedish crowns. I forgot to mention this is about 75 or 80 euros. This application fee. So the deadline to pay is on the 2nd of February. But I recommend you to pay as soon as possible because they will only start working on your application after the application fee is paid. Now, if you are an EU citizen or a citizen from the EEA area, you need to document your fee exempt status. And so you need to upload your passport or ID card, or generally it's passport. I think it's better. And so you need to do this as soon as possible. And also on the 2nd of February is the deadline for supporting documentation. So all documents that you need to submit for your admission, you need to submit by the 2nd of February. But if you want to make a very good application, my recommendation is that you do this as soon as possible. And why? I'm going to explain why. Because your application will be handled first by the admissions officers from the Swedish Council for Higher Education. It's people from the website. And then if there is something wrong with your application, this application does not come to us. I mean, this application will only come to us after the application fee is paid, if you're required to pay, or if after they have assessed your previous studies and all that. So when it comes to us, they have done this first assessment, and then it comes to us for the specific entry requirements, because there are two different requirements that are general. For example, I'm going to give you an example. If you're applying to master's, you need to have the equivalent, a bachelor's degree that is equivalent to a bachelor's degree in Sweden. And this assessment is not done by the university, it is done by the Swedish Council for Higher Education. So they do this assessment if you have the equivalent to 180 credits in Sweden. And then if you do have, then it comes to us and we're going to see if you have the correct major, if you have the specific courses that are needed and all that. So, and also the website also, University Admissions also checks the English entry requirement. It's not here at the university. So this is why I think it's important to apply as soon as possible and submit the documents and pay the application fee as soon as possible. Because if there is any problem with your documentation, you submit it incorrectly, you don't get a stamp that is needed, or something happens, they will contact you via message, and then you will have time to fix the problem before the deadline on the 2nd of February. Okay, because that's the deadline. We're in Sweden, we follow the deadlines, and we here at the University of Skövde, we need to follow these deadlines. If you submit anything after those deadlines, you're going to be late application, and some of the programs, they have so many applicants, then your chances of admission will not be much, because I mean, even if you become a qualified student, I mean, the students who are on time and who qualify, they will get a seat. So it's good that you do it on time and as soon as possible. So if you are on time with everything and you apply to masters, you're going to receive your results on the 26th of March. And if you're applying to bachelor's, you are going to receive your results on the 31st of March next year. We don't give the results before those dates, okay? It comes in the system. And if you go to University Admissions, there is something about contact your university if you need to reply to the offer. If you are applying on the first admissions round, it's not necessary to reply to the offer. So in the second admission round, yes. So it means that when you receive your admission, you need to say, yes, I want to study. But in the first admission round, it's not necessary. And then you start studying in the end of August 2026. And yes, I can click here, and I'm going to click and show you. Here you see the first admission rounds, and this is the website. I'm going to put this link in the chat, okay? And to everyone, so that you can click and open and see. Consider only the first admission round, okay? So let's continue. Now I'm going to talk about the English language requirement. So for all of the programs that Karin mentioned, you know, we have 24 programs for a bachelor's level, 20 a master's level, and they are fully taught in English. And these programs, the English requirement, entry requirement is the same. You need to have the equivalent to studies at upper secondary level in Sweden, known as English B or English 6. Now they even calling it English level 2. This can be demonstrated in 3 ways. It could be depending on the countries where you on the country that you have studied previously. It could be with your upper secondary studies, so with your high school studies, or with previous university studies, or even with an English proficiency test. The most common ones are IELTS and TOEFL. But you have to check the country-specific information. Okay, and this is the country specific for the country or countries that you have studied before. So maybe you have lived in different countries, so you did your it's not the nationality, okay, it's the country where you received your diploma from. So if you did your high school in a certain country and then you moved to another country to do your bachelor studies, and then so you need to check both pages and how you submit the documents. Okay, so I can click here And this is information for the English language requirements. And here you can find information about the requirements. All of our programs, the entrance is English 6 and or English level 2. It's the equivalent to this in Sweden. These are courses in Sweden at high school level. But as I mentioned, there are 3 ways to meet the requirements. So it could be with upper secondary studies, and then you have to go and check the information for the country that you have studied. I'm going to give you these links later to you. Or you can meet with previous university studies. I'm going to open this and read. So, for example, if you have studied English language as the main subject in your bachelor studies, you can meet. It says that students with a degree equivalent to a Swedish kandidatexamen, so equivalent to 180 credits in Sweden. That's what it means, where English is the main subject, not the language of instruction, the subject. For example, a Bachelor's of Arts in English, then you meet the requirements. If you have this, you can meet the requirements in English. Then you don't need any IELTS or something. Or you can also meet, these we're talking about with previous university studies. If you have 60 credits with English as language of instruction of an EU, EEA country, Switzerland, or even certain other English-speaking countries. So if you have 60 credits, so it's 1 year of full-time studies, in one of the following countries, you meet the English requirements just with your bachelor's degree, okay? And the language of instruction of the credit courses were in English, okay? But it says that the language of instruction must be clearly stated on the official documents, right? So these are the countries, for example, all countries in the EU, EEA country, or Switzerland. If the program was taken in English and you have 60 credits, then you can meet the English requirements without a proficiency test. But these are the list of countries, and also there are also bachelor's degree from African countries. Also, students with a bachelor's degree equivalent to the degree must be equivalent to a Swedish kandidatexamen, so a Swedish bachelor's degree. The Swedish Council for Education must consider it equivalent to 180 credits in Sweden. If you have that, and you are from these countries in Africa, then you meet the requirement and you don't need an English certificate. Okay, I'm going to close this. I'm going to give you the link here and put them into the chat so that you have this page, or you can meet the English requirements with an English test, and I'm going to show you. It explains in detail which kind of IELTS are accepted, and then you see the minimum overall score that it should be for the IELTS is 6.5 and no section below 5.5 to be equivalent to English 6. This is the minimum. Here it explains also how you submit your IELTS results, okay? And it's not, the IELTS is not the only one. You can take the TOEFL, IBT, for example. It explains the ones that are accepted. They even mention the ones that are not accepted and the score, how you submit the test results, and if you have taken the Cambridge, Michigan ECPE from language assessments from Cambridge University, sorry, not Cambridge University, from the University of Michigan, sorry, ECPE or ECCE. No, ECPE is accepted, right? This one, University of Michigan ECPE, but this one is not accepted. So you have to read this carefully and how you submit the results. The PTE is also accepted, but you have to read how you submit the results, and you need to make it available for university admissions. In last year, we had one student who had this, and she had a very good grade, and she passed with much more than 62. I mean, much higher than that, but she they didn't accept it. And why? Because it cannot be verified, because she forgot the PTE. If you have that, you need to go to your account there in PTE, and you need to assign the test result to university admissions in Sweden. So you need to do something when you log in there so that it is visible for university admissions, and they can verify your English requirements. There are also Cambridge examinations like CPE, or CAE. They are also accepted, okay, the CPE or the CAE. So you have all this information there, and I think I have covered everything about the English. Let's move on to the applying for bachelor studies. So if you are applying to study one of the 4 bachelor programs we have here, cybersecurity and network administration, biomedicine, molecular biodesign, or molecular bioinformatics, this is the information for you. The documents in general is your upper secondary school certificate, so your high school certificate, and it should be in the original language, and the original is not English. You need an official English translation, plus the grade transcripts, also the original language and the official translation in English, okay? Showing all the years of your high school, and proof of English skills equivalent to English 6. So it depends on the country that you have studied. You also need your passport copy. So if I go here and provide documents, I'm going to show you this. So on this page here, no, it's not even this page, you find information, and then you go to country instructions here, and then you find all the countries, and then you see, I'm gonna give you an example here. For example, let me get a country, Bangladesh, for example, here. So if you are from Bangladesh and you are applying to bachelor studies and you're in your high school, you need, they mention all the diplomas or certificates that are accepted, and how you document your eligibility. And if there is any difference, depending on the year that you have graduated, they're going to tell you. And they tell you if you meet the English requirements or not. So it seems here that if you have studied in Bangladesh, you need to take an English test, okay? One of the ones that I was showing before. And then you have to read everything, and if translations are needed. They are saying here that Bangladesh, that the documents are generally issued in English, so you don't need to provide translations. And yeah, so this is for Bangladesh, an example that I used. I'm gonna put this, this is the information applying to bachelors, okay? Applying to bachelors. So this is the link to the country instructions. And CV, motivation letter, not necessary. Okay, they're not necessary. Let's move on. Okay, Art, I want to know if you are graduating from high school in June 2026, please tell me in the chat if you're doing that. Because the thing is that when I showed you the deadlines, the deadline to submit documents is on the 2nd of February, right? So if you're graduating in June, you don't have your grade transcripts. You haven't finished. So it is not possible for you to apply in the first submission round. So if you are an EU, EEA citizen, and you are in the last year of high school, you're going to graduate in June, then, and you're applying to biomedicine, molecular biodesign, or molecular bioinformatics, you may have a chance to apply together with the Swedish students during the second admission round via the national website antagning.se. That's a website that is in Swedish. and they have different deadlines, okay? But this is only for students who do not need to apply for a residence permit. And this is only for these three programs. The other program, cybersecurity, is not available in the second admission round. So if you are, even if you are a Swedish student, you were born and lived all your life in Sweden, you cannot apply for the cybersecurity program in the second admission round. You need to apply now, okay? Because this program is not available in the second admission round. So you need to apply together with the international students. And so non-EU, EEA citizens, so students who need to apply for a residence permit to travel to Sweden should not apply via antagning.se because the admission results will only be published on the 10th of July 2025. And so there's no time to apply for a residence permit. I will have a session for EU, EEA citizens who are in the last year of high school and will graduate in June. So if you are in this situation, and yeah, so I see even in the chat here, I can even there is someone from Spanish citizen completed high school in Colombia, currently studying in Toronto, Canada. Yeah, but if you have already finished high school, I mean, you have the documents, right? You have the transcripts for all the years of high school. So I recommend you to apply now in the first admission round. Okay, we can check the rest of the questions later. But if you are applying in this situation, I'm going to show you this. There is this session here. It is a special session for EU citizens in the last year of high school who will graduate in June 2026. I will be there together with my colleagues working at the admissions office, and they will explain. So if you register, please, into this session here. Yes, Rosa and Lina will be here. Even Elin Tomasotti, the accommodation coordinator, because as you're going to receive your admission results on 10th of July, and then it's like 5 weeks before the program starts, you need to fix accommodation before you receive the admission results. So you need to apply, put your name in the queue. We need to give you information about this. Yes, so let's move on. IB studies. So if you are in the last year, yeah, you have different deadlines. For the autumn semester, applicants with IB diploma awarded in May 2026, you must ask the IB coordinator at your school to make your results available to university admissions by the 5th of July. I found this information here. And so are you in the last year of your IB studies? So I'm going to put this into the chat. Okay, this is for IB diploma students. And, you know, they tell you here exactly what to do and the deadlines. Okay. For autumn semester applicants with IB diploma awarded in May. So here you have this. I'm even putting this there so that you have it. And yes, let's continue. Now let's finish bachelor's. And if you're applying to master's now, I can see that there are many questions about master's in the Q&A. And yes, what are the documents? It's your bachelor's degree certificate in the original language and the official translation in English. Of course, if it's already issued in English, you don't need any translation, okay? And also the complete grade transcript for all semesters from the original language and the official translation in English. I put it like this because this is one of the most common mistakes. Students sometimes they put the translation in English but they don't put the original document, and it's always in the original language. It's always necessary, both the degree and the grade transcript. And also the English, how you're going to meet the English requirements. It depends on the country where you have studied. And your passport copy, okay? And you have to see the country-specific requirements. So let's go there to the country-specific requirements. And sorry, this is for, this is not, I'm going to go here, country instructions. So here you see the countries, and this is applying to masters. I'm going to put in the chat. So you have it there in the chat. Let's check a country. Which country should I put here? And I see somebody from Ethiopia. So let's check here, Ethiopia here as an example here. So if you're from Ethiopia and you are applying to masters, so a bachelor's degree meets the general criteria. Please note that your program must be accredited by the FDRE Education and Training Authority, ETA, former Higher Education Relevance and Quality Agency, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know what this is, but you know, if you are from Ethiopia, I'm sure you know. This is very specific from the country that you have studied. And then it says what you have to submit, okay? How you meet the English requirements. So you can meet the English requirements with your upper secondary studies and a passing grade in English, okay? So if you're from Ethiopia, with your high school studies, you can. And also, yeah, and how you document that. So you can please submit your upper secondary documents as indicated for bachelor's level studies. So in this case, you apply to master's, but you can document that with your high school studies. But also, students with a completely documented bachelor's degree from a recognized university in Ethiopia are considered to have sufficient level in English. So maybe just with your bachelor's degree, you can meet the requirements, okay, according to this. Then you have to read everything here, and translations are not required. There are special documents instructions for Ethiopia. Your official transcript must be sent directly from your university to university missions in Sweden. Yeah, this is for certain countries in Africa, in the United States, I think Canada too, certain countries, the grade transcript that lists every semester, every discipline, everything, and the grades and the credits, these needs to be sent from the university to university admissions. And the best way is this one. You contact them and you ask them to send an email to verifications@uhr.se. Can you see? This is the website from the Swedish Council for Higher Education for verification. It cannot be sent from you, it has to be from the university. And it needs to be an official email from the university, from the academic registrar's office, examinations office, or the equivalent office. It cannot be from anyone from the faculty or anything like that. It needs to be from official offices from the university. Okay, and yes. So I wouldn't send anything via post, send via email. And if you come from a country that has these special instructions, as I mentioned before, most African countries, United States, Canada, I would recommend you to contact the university as soon as possible. Ask them to send the documents to this to this email address. Sorry, and put you in copy, so that you know exactly when it was sent and what was sent, because sometimes I have seen in the past that the university sends something wrong. What you need to send is the official transcript. So the mark sheets, for all years. And so you know exactly what was sent. So read it all for your country. And yes, this was the information for country-specific information for masters. So you have to check your country. And yeah, and for the final bachelor year, so if you are in the final last year, you can apply. You may still apply if you're applying to masters. So you need to submit this file. And I'm going to show you this page. Oh, yeah, here. If you are in the final year of bachelor studies and you're going to graduate in June until June 2026, you can apply and get admitted with conditions. You have to read this information here, this webpage here. And there is a form that you can, this one, statement of enrollment. This form here, I'll make it, so this form is something, I'm going to send you the link, but pay attention. It's already, you just ask your university to fill it out for you. Here you put your name of the university, and then to be completed by the university, the name of the program and all that. And it needs to be stamped and signed, and it needs to be submitted to university admissions. You can scan it, and submit it to your account there as any other document. But pay attention, these must be completed by a representative of the academic registrar's office, examinations office, or equivalent of the university. Okay, so I'm gonna put the link to this form if this is the case for you. And yes, let's continue. I'm gonna give you some tips for success. And the first thing is that you need to read information on how to apply at the University of Skövde website. All information is here, the requirement documents for bachelors, for masters, students who have not applied, who have not finished the bachelor studies. All the links are here. And the deadline is here as well. We mentioned the second admission round, but this is only for students who are living in Sweden or in Europe. It talks about scholarships, tuition fees. It's a very, very nice information. Just 1 second. Sorry. Yes, so let's read this because it's important information. And oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, it's not necessary to submit a motivation letter or CV for the masters, applying to masters. Okay, it's mainly your academic document. So it's your degree certificate and your grade transcripts and how you're going to meet the English requirement and passport. That's it. You don't need CV, you don't need motivation letter or anything like that. Okay, for our programs for this year. The second tip that I would tell you is to check the general and the specific entry requirements for the program that you have interest in. So in this example, I'm showing you the program Computational Methods in Engineering. It's an example we have here, master's program. And then if you go to the program webpage and you click on requirements and syllabus and you will open that, and then you're going to open this and you're going to see the requirements. You see that the requirement is a bachelor's degree equivalent to a Swedish kandidatexamen of 180 credits. So it's a bachelor's degree in Sweden that has 180 credits. This is specific. Now, sorry, this is general. And then the specific is a major within mechanical engineering or production engineering or equivalent. Additionally, also specific, courses of at least 7.5 credits in strength of materials are equivalent, and 7.5 credits in the finite element methods or equivalent are required. So this program has very specific entry requirements. Sometimes we get emails from students asking, "Oh, can I have these courses that I took somewhere else?" And or for example, I didn't take at the university, I took, but I didn't get credits. No, it should be courses that you have received credits for, okay, for these courses. And another requirement is the proof of English that I mentioned, and this proof of English is also a general requirement that is assessed by university admissions. Um, so our university only assesses the specific entry requirements. And if I click here on our website, you have to scroll a lot to find the programs, and then you find the programs, but it's not really the programs. Here you find the different fields of studies. And then, for example, to find a program, let's go to bioscience. And then in bioscience, you're going to find the news, you're going to find the bachelor's programs, biomedicine, molecular biodesign, and then you find the 1-year masters, and then you find 2-year masters. For example, biomarkers in molecular medicine. I'm going to use this just as an example. And so you click here, and then you see the requirements and syllabus here. You open, and then you see the requirements for the program. So it's a bachelor's degree equivalent to a Swedish bachelor's degree. So this is 180 credits in Sweden, with a major in the biological or medical area is required. The biological area can be defined as, for example, molecular biology, biochemistry, microbiology, or physiology. The medical area is defined as biomedicine, but it can also include subjects in pharmacology, and then the English. So you can see exactly the requirements. Another thing that Karin was showing in the beginning was that you can download the program syllabus. So you can download this in English, and then you find it in your downloads file there, and then you can see the program, and then you can have information about the entry requirements, the contents of the program. You can see all the credits that you're going to take after the 2 years of studies, all the courses, the syllabus within, and how many credits they have, everything you're going to study. And yeah, you can see the language of instruction. Everything is in English. We have, but and then which kind of degree you're going to get. So, for example, if you choose the biomarkers in molecular medicine, you're going to obtain a degree of Masters of Science, 120 credits, with a major in systems biology. And yeah, so you can have this, and you can, if I close this here, you can also click here to apply, and then you go straight to university admissions and the website that receives the application. So check what is required. And the third one is to read the country-specific information, because this is how they're going to assess your previous studies, and how you're going to document if you need specific stamps or everything, if you can meet the English requirements with previous studies or not. Everything is there, so please check it out, and you can scan the QR code and check. And another very important, and I think it's one of the most important as well, is to meet all the deadlines. Because if you can submit all the documents and pay the application fee as early as possible, if you're required to, because as I mentioned before, if there's something wrong, some document missing, you submitted incorrectly or something, then they will contact you, send you a message via the website, and then you receive an email. Log in and check. There is a message for you. Check there, and they will say, "Hey, you forgot this page, or you forgot this stamp," something they will say, and then you can fix the problem before the deadline for document submission on the 2nd of February. And Yes, I have talked a lot, and now we're going to talk about tuition, living cost, student accommodation. Karin, do you want to continue?
Of course, there have been a lot of questions, and I promise we will not, we will answer all of them. We'll do that at the end. I've been trying to answer a couple of them, but I just want to highlight that we will come back to them. So it's not that I have forgotten about them. Of course, I would love to talk about accommodation and yes. So
Yeah,
first,
yeah,
yes. So I will give you some more information about. The total tuition fees, well, it depends on which program that you're studying. So, for example, if you're studying something within bioscience, cognitive neuroscience, informatics, engineering, and game development, then it will cost you for 1 year master. It will cost that is equal to 60 credits. It will cost you 155,000 Swedish crowns. If you're planning to study a 2 year master program, that is equal to 120 credits. It will cost you 310,000 Swedish crowns. No, 310,000 Swedish crowns. Yes. I'm not going to give you any discount. I'm not allowed to do that. Well, the 3 year bachelor programs that is equal to 180 credits will cost you 465,000 Swedish crowns. The payment plan for non-European EAE citizen is an installment of 77,500 Swedish crown before every semester, around 7,000 euros. I just want to highlight when I'm talking about the tuition fees, it's only for people coming outside the European Union or EIA. So if you are a European citizen or EIA, it will not cost you these tuition fees. Next picture, please. But if you're going to study business and marketing, then we have a 1 year master program that is equal to 60 credits that will cost you 110,000 Swedish crowns. The payment plan for non-European EA citizen is installments of 55,000 Swedish crowns before every semester, around 5,000 euros. So every time when I'm talking about the Swedish crowns, you can ish take away a zero at the end, and then you will get what it will be around in euros. So then you have an idea. Yes, yeah. So the living costs here, if you're planning to come here, which we of course hope, since we're sitting here and trying to do our best to help you do the best application ever, so you will be able to come and join us here. It will cost, of course, to live here in Sweden. Food is, for example, if food is a bit expensive in Sweden, but that will cost you around 2,770 Swedish crowns. Accommodation is about 4,900 Swedish crowns. Local travel is about 550 Swedish crowns. But please remember that Skövde is it's not a huge city, so it's basically walking distance everywhere. So most of our students will be able to walk to the university or by themselves or bicycle, just go there by that one. Phone and internet is about 400 Swedish crowns. All the other stuff, book, clothes, and those kind of things, books for your courses and things like that. It will cost you about 1,964 Swedish crowns. In total, it will be 10,584 Swedish crowns, about 970 euros per month. I just want to highlight this is what it will cost you on a monthly basis. Please also check out the accommodation and budget comes from Study in Sweden, and they have a lot of good, useful information. They also have some webinars. I just want to highlight that as well, so check them out. They're really good as well. Yes. And the university student housing. Well, when we talk about the university housing, I would say I just want to highlight some things. First, when it comes to our student housing, we have 4 accommodation areas, furnished rooms. You're not allowed to bring families or pets. The rent for these is about 4,000 to 5,000 Swedish crowns per month, about 365 to 460 euros. The placements will be available in the end of January, the spring, but June, beginning of July for the autumn. So since we most of you that we're meeting here will come in the autumn, it will be June, beginning of July. But I just want to highlight the preference will be given to exchange students. So I would also recommend you to, first of all, apply as soon as you receive your admission, but also to queue up at the Skövde Bostäder as well. Because Skövde Bostäder is the largest landlord in Skövde. They have 5,000 apartments, and as mentioned, the largest landlord. However, there are no furnished rooms, but the majority of you who sits here will probably want to study for a bachelor, that is 3 years, or a master, that is 2 years. Then you might want to have your own room and, decorate it in the way you want to do it. And of course, we have like really great secondhand storage. Yes, stories. No, storage, sorry, where you will be able to go and buy, different types of furnitures for a very affordable price. We also have other types of stores as well. And here, families and pets are allowed, but put your name in the queue when you receive your admission. And I think Andrea could be able to share because there are like two queue system. One is the ordinary apartments, but the students' apartment have a separate queue system. So that's why Andrea is clicking here, how to apply for student housing. It's very important because it is better for you. I mean, you can, of course, queue up in both queues, but please do the student housing. And for the students' housing, it could be, a one room, a two room, or three-room apartment. So you can bring your family or pets.
Yes, Scotty, I think it's so important that we talk about this because the other accommodation areas, the ones that, well, by the way, we don't own any apartments, right? These
No.
apartments, it's with, some of the apartments are with Höftebostäder or other private landlords. Höftebostäder is not private in a way. This is a company from the municipality of Skövde, and they are the largest landlord in Skövde. So they have student apartments. So you can see here, you can apply to lägenheter. These are normal, regular apartments, and these are student apartments. So if you're coming with your family and a couple coming or with one kid or something, you can still apply for a student apartment. And then if you click here, they are not published. They only published from Friday. You don't see anything here now because you only apply. You only see from Friday to Monday. But I put in the last two links I put in the chat was the how to apply for student housing, and this is the link to find. But if you're going to check normal apartments, you're gonna find different ones. But then you need to have many more points. What I want you guys to do is that if you're applying to Skövde and if you get admitted, I mean, it's good that you are already in the queue. You don't need to pay anything to be in the queue. So it's super easy, and I'm going to show you how to do it if you have not done it yet. Maybe some of you have already done because we have been telling you to do it in the webinars. But so you come here to Mina Sidor, so my pages, and then you can, if you are a Swedish citizen or if you have mobile bank ID, I mean, in Sweden, you don't have this, probably you don't have this. So you don't have an account, you sign up and then you click here. And then I'm going to send you this link so that you can sign up. What do you want to register as? You want to register as an applicant. Okay, you continue as an applicant. Sorry, this is the best link. So here as an applicant. And then here, fill in your Swedish social security number. You don't have it. So what you need to do is that if you don't have it, you write your birthday on the format year with 4 digits, month with 2 digits, and day with 2 digits, and then click here, not here. So for example, you were born in 99, so 1999, and you were born in the October, and you were born on the 15th of October 1999. And then you don't have the four digits here. You don't have, and then you have to click here. It generates a temporary Swedish legal ID have been generated. It just creates something so that you can log in, and then you click on register, and then you can find the formula, the form. You create a password, you put your information and all that, so that you can put your name in the queue. Remember, there are two queues, one queue for regular apartments and a queue for student apartments. I recommend you to put your name in both, but the most important is that you put your name into the student queue. Okay, so please, after this webinar, do this, and so that you can have many points. One
Exactly. And
thing, one
it
thing
will
that,
not cost you anything. I just want to highlight it won't cost you anything. And every day will give you a point. So that's why it's like good. So even if you queue up now, then you won't come in the autumn 2026, but 2027, it's not a problem. It won't cost you anything.
yeah. Exactly. And one day in the queue, you get 1 point. So if you have this now, it's going to have almost, 10 months in the queue. So you're going to have lots of points. And yeah. And then you don't pay anything. And when you move to Sweden and before you move, you can sign an agreement. You will have to apply for an apartment. You have to see an ad. And then if you need a visa, you need to show that you already have your visa, you already have your residence permit for studies. Oh, it is granted, and then you can sign an agreement with them. But then it's easy for you because they are going to offer the apartments to the students who have more points. That's how the system works. And yes, and now scholarships. I think there are some questions about scholarships, and I'm going to talk about them now.
Perfect.
And the deadlines and all that. So for bachelor studies, so unfortunately, the University of Skövde does not offer scholarships for bachelor students who are required to pay tuition fees. So we encourage you to explore scholarship opportunities available in your home country or through various global organizations. Okay, I'm going to show you some scholarships that cover bachelor's or even master's based on studies. For example, in Canada, if you're from Canada, the University of Skövde is registered with the Canadian government and is listed as the designated education institution, and we can accept students with a Canadian loan scheme. So if you get a loan from the Canadian government, and they have better interest rates and all that. They have some grants as well. So, you check this up with the student grants and loans. If you come here, you're going to find all the information about scholarships at the University of Skövde. And I'm going to put this link in the chat so that you will all have it. Yeah, another country we have is there is this this platform called We Make Scholars. It's in India. It's India's largest education finance platform, which helps students to finance their higher education through scholarships and educational loans. So they have some scholarships and they have also educational loans. They have agreements with different banks. I think the last time they informed us they had like 13, 14 banks in India. So you can simulate the educational loan, and they have better with the different banks in India. And the last information I received from them is that even it's not only from Indian students with citizenship, they offer this to other nationalities as well. I don't know much about this, but you can check on their webpage, and you find the link there on the last link I put in the chat. It's the information about scholarships in our university. So you're going to find the link to We Make Scholars as well. And so you check it and you check, what they can offer. And if you are also from the United States and you are eligible for the GI Bill benefits through the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, the VA, And these benefits may cover your tuition fees and living expenses. I think they cover up to 4 years. So the bachelor's here 3, so you can even cover the first year, your bachelor's, and even maybe the first year of your master's as well, if you're eligible. So we have, at the moment, we have all our bachelor's programs are eligible. We have some master's programs as well, but what we do is that if we get a student who's going to get these benefits, they contact us, and then we send all the papers for those programs to make them eligible. Okay, so if you are admitted, then contact us. If the program is not available, you send information that you are eligible for the J bill, and then we send all the documents and make this program available for you. Okay, and these are very good because it covers the tuition fee, and it covers you receive some money, I think, as well from the benefits from the VA. And now bachelor's is over. Let's talk about so if you're, if you come from a different country, maybe there are scholarships in your home country. So I really encourage you to check information if there are scholarships available for you to study abroad from your home country or from other international funding and organizations. Now, for masters, there are some scholarships, and I'm going to talk about this. And the first one I want to talk about is the University of the Master Scholarships. These are tuition fee waivers, partial tuition fee waivers that covers 50% of the tuition fee. And they are available for all non-EU, EEA master's applicants. So it doesn't matter the country. If you are required to pay tuition fees here at the University of Skövde, then I recommend you to apply. And but you have to choose the University of Skövde as your first option on university admissions. Okay, we don't we cannot consider second option, third option, because in Sweden you can only get admitted to one program. I think I forgot to mention that, but I saw a question in the Q&A. You can apply up to 4 master's programs, and the order that you put your programs is very important. Why? Because you may qualify to all of your master's programs that you're applying to, but you can only get admitted to one. So if you get admitted to your first option, your second, third, and fourth options will be deleted. You don't get admitted to them. So this is why we cannot work and offer scholarships to second, third priority, because probably you're going to get admitted in your first option. If you choose another university as your first option, probably you're going to get admitted there. So we cannot offer you a scholarship because you're not admitted to us, you're admitted there. So you have to apply for a scholarship at that university. That's how it works in Sweden, So this scholarship is already open. We have received some applications. So if you have not applied yet, you have to apply. And the deadline to apply is on the 10th of February, 2026. So if you click here and then you go to the page with the information, I'm going to put this in the chat. Yes. And here you see the deadlines, and you see that you need to apply for a scholarship now so that you receive a scholarship for your first semester. There is no way to get a scholarship for the second semester, for the third semester. So you have to get it from the beginning. And you can see that the scholarship results will be published on the 26th of March. So no, sorry, 27th of March. 26th of March, you discover if you are admitted or not via university admissions. And then on the day later, you're going to get the scholarship results. So you cannot wait until you know that you are admitted to apply for scholarship. You have to apply now. Mm-hmm. And then here, how to apply. You need to upload a 2-minute video to maybe YouTube. Set this as unlisted. You just need to say and answer. You need to answer how, why, yeah, now here it explains this. Record a 2-minute video explaining why you want to take the master's program at the University of Skövde and how you're going to use the knowledge acquired during the program. So this is what you talk in the video. And then you upload this video. We suggest YouTube, okay? And you mark it as unlisted. So, and send us the link via the application form. And yeah, you can see here, you just click here, and then you apply via this. It's very important that you put your application number from Universal Missions, and the email is the same email that you have on Universal Missions, okay? And yes, this is the first. So all nationalities were required to pay tuition fees. And now there is another. It's the Swedish Institute scholarships for global professionals. These are very, very good scholarships because they are fully funded. So for 1 year or 2-year masters, and there is even a travel grant as well. You receive monthly uh, scholarship also for your living expenses. And then after you finish your program, you become a member of the alumni from alumni network. So it's very good. And this is available for applicants from 34 eligible countries. So every year they check which countries, and there's a list of countries that are eligible. And there is this year also, there's a list of, not this year, but every year, there is a list of programs that are available. So application is done via the Swedish Institute, and it will open on the 9th of February, and the deadline to apply is on the 25th of February, so just 2 weeks. So if you click here, you get to the webpage, and I'm going to show you the countries as well. And you can see the countries here, right? And then you see all the information, all you need to do. And you need to have some work experience and some leadership skills also. And yeah, the programs at our university that are available for this 2026 intake is biomarkers in molecular medicine, business development and marketing, cognitive neuroscience, mind and brain, data science 1 year, 60 credits, or data science 2 years. Remember, you can apply up to 4 programs on universal admissions, and it doesn't matter if it's first priority, second priority, or third, because you have to inform all the 4 programs that you're going to apply to, and then the one that you get admitted, and if it's the program is eligible, and then you can get a scholarship, okay, if you were selected. But as I said, the the rank of programs, what you put as first option, second option, is very important because you can only get admitted to one program. And yes, and another scholarship is the scholarship Pioneering Women in STEM. It's also from the Swedish Institute. It's a fully funded scholarship. It covers the full tuition fee plus the living costs, and it's available for female master's applicants from 10 countries. And application is open from the 9th of February to the 25th of February as well. And this is the link. I'm going to show you the programs that are available at our university for this program. So the countries here are 10 countries. So Bangladesh, Indonesia, Kenya, Malaysia, Nigeria, Philippines, Rwanda, South Africa, Thailand, and Vietnam. So the other scholarship I was showing you is available for 34 countries. This is for 10 countries, and it's only available for female applicants. And yes, so the programs available for the 2026 intake is biomarkers in molecular medicine, data science, and then you have the 1 year and the 2 years. And yes, Karin, what about the webinars? Do you want to talk about the webinars?
Hi, sorry. I was sitting and answering questions.
Yes, I
Yes.
was talking about the scholarships, and now, we have been doing lots of webinars for the last 3 weeks, right? And so do you
Yes.
about them? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, we have, as Andrea mentioned, done quite a lot of online activities. And one of these are the program-specific webinars. I've been writing in the chat when you have had some questions that are related to the programs. I really recommend you to look into the webinars because we go through a lot of the prerequisites with the program coordinators and a couple of things more, and you will get so much more information. Please, when you're checking out the webinar, there's like time slots where you can check out. So, for example, if it says like, we'll talk about scholarship or this or that, check out when we're talking to the program coordinators because then there will be a lot of useful information. So please check out the webinars. Then we'll also next week we have our virtual open house, so digital open house on the 3rd of December. It's also really great opportunities for you to meet the program coordinators again, and then you can ask more questions about prerequisites because they are the one who will know a bit more specific related to their subjects. Because I've received a lot of questions about that in the chat. Uh, I really highly recommend you to register there. And also, as mentioned, check out former webinars. We also have pre-departure webinars. It's for the admitted students, so no worries about when you have been accepted. If you go like, I don't know what to do, there will be at least one or two occasions that will be, yeah, this year we did like that we did a pre-departure webinar and then we had like a Q&A, but we recorded the first one. So no worries, we will give you all the information you need. Yes, you can, and you can check out the QR code here as well. And also, please meet our student ambassadors. They are really nice and they're very lovely, and we have trained them and we have given them all the right information, so they should be able to give you all the answers you need to know that is related to being a student here. Because if you have any questions about, the application process and stuff like that, then you need to come to us. But here, so check them out. They come from different countries, they study different programs, and it's like a really great opportunity for you to really know how it is to be a student here at the University of Skövde. Yes, and we have a couple of more student ambassadors. These three students, they have been doing different types they have been bloggers as well as they have been doing other things for the Swedish Institute. So, for example, Ravinder from Sri Lanka, I think he has been doing a blog, if I remember correctly. And then we have, for example, Manu from Brazil, and we also have Anna Maria from Slovakia. And so you can check out the QR code, and then you can find more about the different. One had Instagram, one had a blog, and then you can read and see more about being a student here at the university as well. Yes. And if you have any more questions, you can check out study@his.se and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible because very often you come home after the webinar, you start wondering and then you go like, oh, I should have asked them that. No worries. You can just send an email and we will get right back to you. And yes, uh, and we, of course, wish you all the best on your application. So we will, and really hope that it will work out great. I really recommend you to start doing your application, and then Andrea will also have another session at the Digital Open House. So in case you're having a bit of a problem, then you can join her in that breakout room as well. So please start, and then you will have until next Wednesday, and then you can come back and be like, hey, so I had some problems with this and that, and then Andrea will be able to answer you. And I think we will stop the recording here and then we will start with the Q&A. So for those who are watching us, I just want to say and watching this recording later on. Thank you for being with us, joining us, and we hope to see you here in August. And thank you, Andrea, as well. And hope to see you soon.
Thank you, everybody. Hope to see you soon. Let's go to the Q&A now.